Let me ask you something simple but critical. Have you noticed your legs feeling weaker? Standing up from a chair takes more effort? Maybe your balance isn't what it used to be, and you've started catching yourself more often than you'd like? For millions of older adults, muscle loss is quietly robbing them of strength, mobility, and independence. And here's the kicker: most people think it's just aging, that it's normal, that it's inevitable. But as a doctor who's spent over 3 decades studying the human body and aging, I can tell you right now, it's not. Yes, our bodies change as we get older, but the idea that your muscles must wither away after 60 is a myth. What's actually happening inside your body isn't just getting old, it's a correctable metabolic breakdown. This breakdown has a name: anabolic resistance, and it's one of the most underdiagnosed, misunderstood, and absolutely reversible conditions affecting people over 60. You see, your body isn't forgetting how to build muscle. It's just stopped responding to the signals that tell it to grow. And in many cases, those signals are being drowned out by poor insulin function, chronic inflammation, poor nutrient timing, and outdated beliefs about what older adults need nutritionally. Here's what the latest science and my personal clinical experience tells us. Muscle loss isn't caused by aging. It's caused by unaddressed metabolic resistance. And you can absolutely turn it around. The rest of this video will unpack exactly how to do that. I'm going to walk you through 3 critical biological switches that hold the key to rebuilding strength, energy, and independence after 60. A powerful amino acid called leucine, how insulin resistance blocks muscle repair, and how to fix it, and the crucial role of timing your meals for maximum muscle activation. You'll also learn how to combine these insights with real-world steps like what to eat, when to move, and how to rebuild muscle from home, even if you've been inactive for years. So if you've ever been told you're just getting older, or you've silently started to fear a future of weakness, frailty, or falling, stick with me. Because you're about to discover that your best strength may not be behind you. It might just be waiting to be reactivated. And hey, if you're passionate about staying strong, independent, and mentally sharp as you age, make sure you tap that subscribe button. Here at Healthy Senior Now, I bring you real science, real strategies, and no fluff. Just simple, evidence-based tools to help you thrive naturally. Ready? Let's get into it. 1. Muscle loss condition. Let's talk about something that's silently stealing years from millions of people, and no, it's not a disease, it's muscle loss. Most folks think losing muscle as you age is just part of getting old. You get slower, you feel weaker, and stairs suddenly feel like mountains. But here's the truth: muscle loss in aging, also called sarcopenia, isn't a natural consequence of aging. It's more like a metabolic malfunction system error your body develops over time. Imagine your body like a factory. When you're young, everything runs smooth. Your body gets the signal, build muscle, and the factory kicks into gear. But somewhere around your 50s or 60s, those signals start getting ignored. That's not age talking. That's a condition scientists call anabolic resistance. So, what does that actually mean? In simple terms, your muscles stop listening to the commands to grow or repair. Protein, exercise, hormones, they're all still there, trying to do their job. But your muscle cells have kind of tuned them out. Like a radio with static, you're broadcasting the right frequency, but the receiver is busted. And what breaks the receiver? A lot of things, actually. Over time, your hormones shift, testosterone and growth hormone dip. Digestive enzymes decline, meaning your body can't break down protein as efficiently. Chronic inflammation starts building up quietly, fed by poor sleep, processed food, and even unaddressed stress. And perhaps most importantly, you become insulin resistant, which is a fancy way of saying your muscles stop absorbing the nutrients they desperately need. Here's where it gets serious. When you lose muscle, you're not just losing strength, you're losing metabolic control. Muscles are your body's primary glucose disposal system. That means they absorb sugar and use it for fuel. No muscle? That sugar has nowhere to go. So it floats around, leading to weight gain, type 2 diabetes, fatigue, and even brain fog. And physically, the effects are just as alarming. Your legs weaken, first making it harder to get out of a chair, walk upstairs, or keep your balance. That's why muscle loss is directly linked to falls, fractures, and eventually, the loss of independence. We're not just talking about frailty, we're talking about losing the ability to live on your own terms. And it happens faster than you think. You can lose 1% of your muscle mass every year after 50 if you're not actively doing something about it. But here's the twist. You can do something about it. Sarcopenia isn't inevitable. It's not just aging. It's a signal problem, a communication breakdown between your muscles and your metabolism. And once you understand that, everything changes. You don't need to accept weakness as part of growing older. What you need is to reset the signal, feed the right nutrients, fix the receivers, and give your muscles a reason to grow again. Because here's something no one tells you. Your body is always listening. You just have to speak its language. 2. Leucine and mTOR. Let me tell you a little-known truth from decades of research. Muscle growth doesn't begin with weights. It starts with a molecule. And that molecule is called leucine. Leucine is one of the 9 essential amino acids, meaning your body can't make it, you have to get it from food. But what makes leucine special isn't just that it helps build muscle, it's that it literally tells your body to start the process. Think of leucine like the spark plug in an engine. You can have all the fuel, protein, calories, workouts, but without the spark, that engine doesn't start. Leucine is that spark. And the engine it starts? A powerful biological pathway called mTOR, short for mechanistic target of rapamycin. This is the master switch for muscle protein synthesis, the very process that helps your body repair and build muscle tissue. When you're younger, even small amounts of leucine can flip that switch with ease. Your body is primed and sensitive, but as you get older, that sensitivity drops. Your body becomes harder to trigger. The switch doesn't respond like it used to. That's why senior 7, those who are eating protein, often still lose muscle. They're getting the fuel, but not enough of the spark to ignite growth. And that's where things start to go downhill. Now, here's where it gets practical. Research shows that older adults need around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine in a single meal to fully activate mTOR and build muscle. But most people, especially seniors, don't even come close. Let's break that down. 1 egg, about 0.5 grams of leucine. 3 ounces of chicken breast, roughly 2.1 grams. A scoop of standard whey protein, around 2 to 2.5 grams, depending on quality. So unless you're deliberately structuring your meals to hit that leucine threshold, you might be eating protein but not activating growth. Now here's the kicker. There's one food that outperforms almost every other natural source when it comes to leucine, and it's a food that most people overlook: grass-fed beef liver. I know liver isn't exactly topping the charts in popularity, but hear me out. Just 3 to 4 ounces of high-quality beef liver delivers around 2.9 grams of leucine, enough to hit the anabolic threshold in one shot. And not only that, it comes packaged with critical cofactors like vitamin B12, iron, zinc, copper, and collineal nutrients that support mitochondrial energy, red blood cell production, hormonal balance, and even insulin sensitivity. Liver doesn't just build muscle, it restores the machinery needed to keep building it consistently. And for those who can't stomach the taste, there are now freeze-dried liver capsules sourced from grass-fed cows that delivers similar nutrient density in an easy, daily supplement. But back to leucine. The point isn't just to eat more protein, the point is to eat the right kind of protein in the right amount at the right time to flip the mTOR switch and tell your body, it's time to grow. Most diets fail older adults, not because of lack of calories or even protein, but because they fail to hit the leucine threshold consistently. And once you miss that switch, you enter a slow decline where muscle breakdown outpaces muscle repair. Now imagine the opposite. You start your day with a leucine-rich breakfast, maybe scrambled eggs, sautéed greens, and yes, a few ounces of liver or a quality protein shake. You go for a short walk after eating. Your body gets the signal loud and clear. mTOR is flipped on. Your muscle cells start synthesizing new tissue. You feel stronger, more energetic, more stable. Over time, this becomes your new normal. And that's what no one tells you. You can still build muscle in your 60s, 70s, even your 80s. You just need to speak your body's language. And in the language of muscle, leucine is the first word. 3. Insulin, the broken delivery truck. Let me give you a mental picture that might just change how you think about muscle loss. Imagine you're building a house. You've got all the supplies you need: bricks, wood, nails, but the delivery truck? It's broken. No matter how many materials you have, they just sit at the warehouse, never making it to the site. That's what's happening inside your body when you suffer from insulin resistance. Insulin is supposed to be the delivery truck that transports nutrients, especially glucose and amino acids, into your muscle cells. It's the key that unlocks the cell's door and says, "Hey, we've got fuel and building blocks, let's grow." But when the truck breaks down, muscles stop getting what they need, even if you're eating plenty of protein. And when that happens, muscle mass starts shrinking. You get weaker, slower, more fatigued, and eventually even everyday tasks become hard. Now here's where it gets deeper. Most people associate insulin only with blood sugar and diabetes. But in reality, insulin is a core part of your anabolic system, the system that builds and maintains muscle. And when insulin can't do its job, your muscles can't grow, can't repair, and can't function the way they're supposed to. So how does this happen? Over the years, your body gets bombarded with triggers that make it insulin resistant. Refined carbs, white bread, sugary snacks, constant snacking between meals. Chronic stress, which raises cortisol and interferes with insulin signaling. Lack of movement, which means muscles stay inactive and become metabolically sluggish. Eventually, your cells become deaf to insulin's message. You're eating right, maybe even exercising, but your body still acts like it's starving. Now, here's the good news. Insulin resistance is not permanent. Like any broken system, it can be repaired. And the tools are remarkably simple: no medication, no crash diets, no gimmicks. Let me walk you through 4 evidence-backed strategies that I've used with countless patients to restore insulin sensitivity and, in turn, reignite muscle growth. 1. Intermittent fasting, 14-16 hours. When you fast, your insulin levels naturally drop. This break from constant digestion gives your cells a chance to reset and become more sensitive to insulin. It's like rebooting your delivery truck's engine. And when you break that fast, do it with a high-protein, leucine-rich meal to maximize the muscle response. 2. Walk after meals. This is a game-changer, especially for older adults. Just 10 to 15 minutes of walking after eating can slash your post-meal blood sugar and activate your muscles to pull glucose from your bloodstream even without insulin's help. Think of it as opening a side door when the main one's jammed. 3. Improve sleep, reduce cortisol. Poor sleep wrecks your hormonal rhythm. Just one bad night can make you temporarily insulin resistant. Long-term sleep deprivation elevates cortisol, a stress hormone that competes with insulin. Aim for 7-8 hours in a dark, cool room and try natural sleep aids like magnesium glycinate or sour cherry juice before bed. 4. Use natural insulin sensitizers. Some everyday ingredients have powerful effects. Apple cider vinegar, 1-2 tablespoons in water before meals, improves post-meal insulin function. Cinnamon helps regulate glucose metabolism. Chromium, especially in picolinate form, assists in glucose transport. A simple warm drink with ACV and cinnamon before dinner can do more than some medications. The key here is consistency. These aren't magic pills, but when stacked together, they create a powerful metabolic reset. Over time, your delivery truck gets repaired, nutrients get delivered, and suddenly, your workouts and protein intake actually start working. Here's something I tell my older patients all the time. Your body is not broken. It's just jammed. And once you clear the traffic, even at 70 or 80, your muscles will respond. They're just waiting for the right signal and the right tools. So next time someone tells you you're too old to build muscle, smile and take a walk after lunch. 4. Meal timing. Let's start with something nobody teaches you in your 40s, 50s, or even 60s. When you eat may matter just as much as what you eat. See, your body runs on rhythm. And just like a symphony has its highs and lows, your metabolism shifts between two major states all day long: anabolism, the building phase, and catabolism, the breakdown phase. We bounce back and forth between these two states constantly. That's normal. But as we get older, something subtle and dangerous starts to happen. We spend more time breaking down than building up. Now, here's where timing becomes your secret weapon. One of the most powerful anabolic windows, the moment when your body is most ready to build and repair tissue, is right after you wake up. Your hormones are primed. Cortisol is naturally higher, which is good in the morning. And your muscle cells are actually more responsive to nutrients if you feed them right. But you know what most people do instead? They grab a piece of toast, maybe a banana, or worse, they skip breakfast altogether. Then they eat a massive dinner right before bed. That's not just bad timing, that's metabolic sabotage. Why? Because eating the bulk of your calories late at night goes against your body's circadian rhythm. Your digestion slows down in the evening. Your insulin sensitivity is lower. And your body wants to be in repair mode, not digestion mode, when you're trying to sleep. Now, let's flip that script. If you're serious about preserving or rebuilding muscle after 60, here's the blueprint I give my patients, and it's backed by decades of metabolic research. Start strong. The high-protein breakfast. Your first meal of the day sets the tone for your entire metabolism. Think of it as a metabolic signal. A breakfast rich in at least 30 grams of high-quality protein and 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine tells your body it's time to grow. That might look like a few pasture-raised eggs, a few ounces of grass-fed beef liver or turkey sausage, some sautéed spinach or other leafy greens, a few slices of avocado. This kind of breakfast doesn't just nourish you, it primes your anabolic machinery for the day. It switches on your mTOR pathway, balances your blood sugar, and stabilizes your energy. Space your protein. Don't scatter it. Another mistake people make: grazing all day, snacking here and there, protein in small scattered amounts. The problem is, your body doesn't respond to tiny trickles of amino acids. To stimulate muscle protein synthesis, you need a threshold dose of both total protein and leucine in a sitting. So instead of 5 or 6 small meals, aim for 2 or 3 solid meals spaced 4-6 hours apart, each with 25-40 grams of protein. This structure allows you to enter a clear anabolic state, then rest and digest properly before the next feeding signal. It's like ringing a loud bell your body can hear, instead of tapping on the door and hoping it listens. Avoid late-night meals. Eating a big dinner at 9 or 10 p.m., that's one of the fastest ways to shut down overnight recovery. Your melatonin and growth hormone peak at night, but they're suppressed when digestion is still active. So here's the rule. Stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. This allows your body to shift from digestion into regeneration. And yes, it improves deep sleep, which is when a lot of your hormonal repair happens anyway. Watch out for mindless snacking. Let's talk about snacking, because it's not just about calories. Every bite you take sends a metabolic message. Constant grazing, especially on low-protein, high-carb foods, keeps insulin elevated and confuses your body's muscle-building rhythm. It's like constantly flicking a light switch on and off. Eventually, your muscle cells stop responding. You blunt your anabolic response. You stay in limbo, never fully building, never fully resting. If you're going to snack, make it purposeful. A hard-boiled egg, a scoop of collagen in tea, something with protein. Or better yet, skip the snack and let your body reset between meals. Here's the big idea. Your body is most anabolic not when you're pumping iron, but when your nutrition, hormones, and rhythms are aligned. Meal timing isn't about restriction. It's about precision. Knowing when to fuel, knowing when to rest, and giving your muscles the exact signals they need when they're ready to listen. When you align your meals with your body's clock, you don't just eat, you activate. Here's something I've learned after decades of working with older adults. The human body is not fragile. It's just waiting to be reminded of what it's capable of. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, please hear me. You are not broken, and you are not too late. You may have been told that weakness is part of aging, that slowing down is inevitable, but I want you to know you're stronger than you think. Not just in your muscles, but in your mindset, in your wisdom, and in your ability to adapt. Because guess what? Change doesn't belong to the young. It belongs to the willing. I've seen people in their 80s regain strength they thought was lost forever, climb stairs without pain, carry groceries again, even dance at weddings. Not because they did anything extreme, but because they chose to believe their best health wasn't behind them, and they took one small step, then another, and then another. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait until it's the right time. You are the right time. Start with what you can do. Nourish your body. Move it with care. Listen to its signals. And most importantly, trust it again. If this message speaks to you, I'd be honored to have you join our community here at Healthy Senior Now. Subscribe, leave a comment, or share this with someone who needs a reminder that aging isn't the end, it's a new beginning.